Hi, I'm here with Kyra Lambert, and we are talking for the second time because originally
Mhm.
we talked for the website, and I'm gonna post the link to the interview in the file description. So, hi, Kyra, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And do you have any impressions? Well, were you following the Final Four in March Madness?
Yes. Yeah, that was so exciting. So exciting for the women's side and the men's side, but I followed more the women's side.
Okay, understandably. And as a Texas Longhorn, how did you feel about them like getting so high in the competition?
Yeah, I mean, it speaks to the culture that has been built there. It's a culture of excellence, a culture of winning. So to go for, I believe, the second year in a row to the Final Four, I think eventually we're gonna win it. So it's a good trend to keep getting there, and we just kind of got to get over that hump. But I'm
Okay,
super proud of the girls and happy for them.
sure. And when you were watching the games, did you actually feel like, these guys could use me at different moments of games, or not really?
No, not at all. Not at all. I did 6 years in college, so they got it. They got it.
Okay, okay.
But no, it was so exciting just to see the level of play, to see, the strategy of the coaches, of the programs, and for it to be, I believe, the same four teams from last year. I mean, they're powerhouses, so it was really exciting to watch.
Yeah. And obviously being a part of that must have been awesome as well for you in the past. Obviously building that powerhouse, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay.
So it's great to see everything that started with Coach Schaefer coming to Texas and how he's been able to grow the program and shape it to what it is now. It's pretty special.
Hmm. Yeah. So last time we got to talk, you were before two of the biggest landmarks of your pro career. Let's start with you joining the Fever. Can you tell us how did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, glory to God because I have had a very untraditional path to the W. I, graduated college. I wasn't drafted. I came overseas and just put my down and did the work. And each year I was hoping to get a call, hoping to get a call. And then last year during the summer, um, same summer as I usually have. Working out, staying in shape, getting prepared to go back overseas. And my agent sent me a message. He was like, "Hey, I just put your name in for Indiana. They're down with point guards." And was just hoping that I got the call from the team, and the team called, and 24 hours later, I was in Indianapolis. So,
Wow, okay.
um, yeah, it was a crazy, crazy time. But I'm so grateful and God is so faithful because if you know my journey as you do,
Yeah.
this doesn't happen for a lot of people.
Yeah. So you were in San Antonio and then you moved to okay. Because
Yep, yep.
for those of you who haven't read the interview, haven't followed your career, you are from San Antonio, right?
Yes, yep.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so some people will say that it was just 7 days, right? It was just a 7 day contract. But
hmm
uh, how did it feel? Like can you take us through those 7 days? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, when I first got the call, it was a very surreal moment. Like I'm crying tears of joy. I'm telling, my parents and the people that have been closest to me during this entire journey and this entire process. And I'm also, throwing everything in a suitcase because I have to leave within 24 hours. So I had already been, watching the W and watching Indiana play, doing my best to look at, the actions that they run, the timeouts and just how the team operates because going to a team in the middle of a season is not easy by any means. So I was just going with an open mind and just prepared for whatever came at me. It was a blessing that I was, working out, staying in shape, because getting in game shape that fast is pretty difficult, but it's not undoable or like what is it
Uh,
called? It's not
Doable
impossible.
is okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's not impossible. But I was in good shape going there and just prepared for whatever came. When I got there, it was a lot of medical testing, meeting the team. I mean, they're in the middle of the season, so the next day they had a game. Um, and yeah, I mean, I had literally one practice with the team. It was like a normal practice for them, which was, playing against the practice guys. So, you have your rotations, you have the first team going, you have, those few subs going. But I think I got maybe 2 reps in during that practice. But watching a lot of film with the assistant coaches, doing extra workouts that I could. And then we had that game. I didn't play in the first game, but it was really special because my parents were there, my sister was there, and one of her friends, and then also my trainer from back home was there, and then also people from college were there. So it was just a lot of support in that moment. And even though I can't remember the last time I didn't play in a game, I also had to give myself grace and say, like, Kyra, this is a big deal. Like this is a big deal to be on not just a training camp, but to be on an actual WNBA roster. Given, my journey and my experience and everything that I've gone through to get there. So then after that, we had a day in between. It was basically a walkthrough practice because that night we left for Connecticut, and then the next day was the game in Connecticut. So I didn't get a lot of reps with the team, but I got a lot of time in with the assistant coaches, just, learning the plays, learning the terminology, and then also like spending what time I could with the team. The travel was great. And then we get to Connecticut and I played at the very end of the game. I got to take the warm up off. But overall it was a really, really great experience. To say the least, honestly, because I got to see it from the inside. I got to know and understand that, like, hey, I belong here. It's not just something that is a one-off experience. To hear the terminology, to see the coaches, to have my name in the mix now. I mean, I don't take it for granted. And again, like, credit to God, because this doesn't happen for everybody. This doesn't
Yeah.
happen for everybody, but like, I've prayed a lot, I've worked hard as heck, and he's faithful. So
Awesome. Awesome. And did you get any pointers on your way back as to we might call you back if you improve this or that, or there was no such like coaching involved?
yeah, not really pointers. It was more of, hey, we have to go with somebody who has more experience.
Hmm.
And I took that for what it was because they knew what they were getting when they, called me for the 7-day contract.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm really grateful for the experience and really excited to see what comes next. Um, yeah, I just stay ready because you
Yeah.
never know what call could come and what could happen. So
Yeah. As you've said, I mean, your name is now in the mix. You're closer than you were before that. So that's
exactly.
incredible, right? And the second landmark is playing for the national team of Slovakia. And how did that
Yeah.
come about?
Yeah, and credit to my agent, Lorenzo Galati with 2 Points Agency. He is phenomenal, and I can't say enough good things about him. He's the one that put my name in the mix for the Fever. He's the one, excuse me, that got me, the passport with the Slovakian national team. So really, so much credit goes to him and just what he has been able to do for me and for my career. And he's a great person as well. So that's just without, like, that's just he's just amazing. But the
So he
national
handled the
team,
technicalities. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
You
yeah.
just came there for the passport and
Yes, yeah.
just slayed in that black dress that you have because there's a picture on Instagram, right? You posing with the passport.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of so I had to go through the process of, doing the clearance and the like police stuff and submitting, my criminal record and just a bunch of documentation. But it was a lot of back and forth to Slovakia, going back to, I think I was in Athens at the time, and then going back to Slovakia for like different appointments and things. But in September of 2025 was when I officially got the passport and the picture. So it was really, really awesome. And I mean, it's a great opportunity. It's a great country, a country that I've played in before. The people were amazing with the federation, with the team, the coaches. So it's really an awesome position and an awesome opportunity. Plus, now I'm European. So that opens a whole lot more doors for me in my career as I continue.
Mhm.
So.
And can you take us through the process of the thought process of becoming a naturalized player? How did that come about? So Lorenzo contacted you about the possibility, or
So he had told me like the benefits of having a second citizenship or dual
Mhm.
citizenship. There are benefits to having different passports, and for what I like for FIBA or for playing in Europe, having a European passport is like gold. So as an American, most teams will only allow two Americans, but if they play Euro Cup or Euro League, like they'll allow I think unlimited Europeans, if I'm not mistaken. For EuroLeague for
if
sure,
it's in the
unlimited.
European Union, yes.
Yeah. Um, so like to be able to have a European passport was like, okay, I definitely want that if the opportunity comes about. And at the time, this was years ago, like at the time, not a lot of countries had started naturalizing
Mhm.
players, but as the years went by, like more and more countries started naturalizing players. So, you know, countries or like national team coaches would contact agents to see, hey, we're looking for this type of player for the national team to make them more competitive and to help them qualify for a World Cup or for the Olympics. So that process happened, and Lorenzo contacted me, hey, Slovakia is looking for a point guard. Is this something you'd be interested in? Without hesitation, it's a absolutely. And yeah, and now I play for the national team. Now I'm
Yeah,
Slovakian.
that's awesome. And you got to play in 6 games so far. Those were group qualifiers against Cyprus, Romania,
Yeah.
and Poland as well.
Yes. Yep.
And how would you evaluate that experience? And what do you remember the most from these games?
Yeah. It was a great experience. It was a really, really great experience. Like I said before, like the people are just amazing. And that's really what I remember most is, basketball has been this vehicle that has allowed me to meet so many people and experience so many different cultures. And to be able to go and play for a national team is an experience unlike any other that I've ever had in basketball because it is um it is like pride. It's like the pride and the energy around it is like, hey, like we are representing an entire country, an entire nation. This isn't just playing for yourself. This is playing for literally like the people of Slovakia, and Slovakia as a whole. So, uh, I mean, it was a great experience, and I do my best to learn the language, to embrace the culture as much as possible. The food is great, by the way. Slovakian food is great. I will say. But no, it was a great experience.
Okay, so speaking of food and Slovakian things in general, so what are your favorite dishes when it comes to the Slovakian cuisine?
Yes. So I love halushki. I love
Okay.
halushki, which is like, how would I describe it? It's not like pasta. It's more like dough with like a cream, like a cheese on top. It's so good with like bacon bits in it. Amazing.
Mhm.
There's a soup called kabutsnitsa, which is like a it's like cabbage, sausage, and like some spices. It's very good. So I love
Mhm.
those. The pastries are very good. And honestly, like I'll try anything, honestly. So anything they put in front of me, I pretty much, grub on. So
Yeah.
it's very good though. I don't think there's one dish that I didn't like that I've tried there. And I always
Okay.
try to try something different. So yeah, I'm getting my fair share.
Okay. Do you guys have dumplings in Slovakia as well, or they are not big on
Mhm.
dumplings? Okay,
Yeah, they have
that's cool.
dumplings. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. So may I ask you some questions about your country of choice? Hopefully, you'll be
Yeah.
able to. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with something easy. The
Of
capital of Slovakia. Yeah.
Oh, Bratislava.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was easy, right? And
There
the
we go.
flag.
The flag,
Yeah.
red, white, and blue with the symbol, the emblem.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And are there any like quirky or nerdy things that you know about Slovakia? Like,
Ooh.
for example, um, what's the thing that Slovakia has the highest number of per capita? There's something historical. There's like
Oh.
because Slovakia isn't a big country, right? But
It's
it's very
not big, no.
historical.
Yeah, there's
And
a lot of history there.
yeah, and usually there's a lot of like mountains. And when you think about mountains, you think about certain buildings.
hmm Yeah, I mean, there's the High Tatras, which
Hmm.
is, like the mountain range there, and like they have like a lot of ski resorts and things out there. The snow is absolutely beautiful. Um, what else? I mean, there's a lot of castles. There's a lot of castles.
That's it. They have the highest number of castles per
Okay.
citizen. So that's
Ah, okay.
that's
That
it.
makes sense.
Yeah. And have you also seen there's this statue of a horse? There's like super
Horse?
big in front of a sports center made out of aluminum. No.
No.
Okay, that's super interesting. But it's not in Bratislava, it's like a different uh city or town. And the last thing, because my knowledge of Slovakia, as you can see, is also not very good. Historically, Slovakia has existed as part of various countries, right?
hmm
Because it was part of Austria, for example. But recently, it was like coupled up with another country.
With Czech?
Yeah,
With, yeah, with the
yeah.
when it
Okay, so
was
you know that.
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And what's the attitude between those two countries? Because Czechs usually don't like us Poles, whereas we Poles love Czechs for some reason. I mean, but we don't really care about Slovakians or that much. I don't know why, to be honest. So, what's the Slovakian attitude towards Czechs?
Honestly, I have no idea. I
Oh,
have
okay,
no idea. I have a Czech teammate right now and I love her. So
okay, but you're
so
playing in a
yeah.
different country, so it's different, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So let's go way back for a moment because I was going through the newspapers, old newspapers, preparing for this, and there's an article from 2013 which introduces you as committed to Texas A&M. Now you never
Yeah.
played there, right? You opted for Duke and then Texas.
hmm hmm
So why do you remember even committing to Texas A&M?
Yeah, I committed very early. I think I committed between my freshman and sophomore year of high school. And I grew up in Texas, of course, but
Hmm.
my sister went to Texas A&M and
Okay.
she was there in I think like '09 to I don't remember when she graduated, but like I was an Aggie, like just by association. And at the time I wanted to be an engineer and it was a great engineering school. So yeah, that's why I had committed to Texas A&M. And then as my recruitment, it kind of, I mean, after you verbally commit, people respect it, but there's still some that push.
Okay.
And at the time, I think I mean I was top 10 in the nation. So I didn't give myself a full recruitment process before I committed. So I wanted to open my recruiting back up to see, what was out there. And I'm really, really glad that I did.
Yeah, so you ended up going to Duke, right?
Mhm.
And you went there because of education primarily.
Yes, yeah.
And w- you said that you were the top 10 recruit in the country. When and how did you learn to deal with that kind of pressure? Because it's a lot of pressure, but when you're a teenager, it's like some people find it easier because they
hmm
tend not to doubt themselves that much,
hmm
right? As
hmm
teenagers. And so what was it like for you?
I didn't really see it as pressure. I feel so old saying this, but I when I was growing up and playing AAU, social media was a thing, but it was nowhere near what it is now. So you don't have, or we didn't have players that had all these highlight tapes and all of these. We had scouts, but we had, one or two big scouting services that everybody knew, and that was what was respected, and that was, what everybody went by. It wasn't, we have a scouting service here and here and here and here and here. So it was like you went to, some camps, you went to tournaments and played against the best teams. And, we didn't even have circuits. I think my last year of AAU is when they started the Nike EYBL circuit.
Hmm.
So, it was really just a very organic process for me. And I mean, I did the work. I was, a workaholic. I was a gym rat. And I just, put my head down, did the work, and ended up being the number 9 player in the country. So, going to Duke, I wanted a great balance of academics and athletics. And I wanted to get a degree that held weight. I wanted to, have um, a great experience in college and know that I was getting a very respected education as well.
Okay, okay. And do you have any regrets about not joining A&M?
No.
Okay.
No,
Do
I
you think that
respect
they
the
have?
school, and I,
Okay.
no, I
Any
think they're
regrets?
okay. I think they're okay.
Okay, okay. How and how was your relationship with your sister, especially after you went to the Longhorns?
Texas.
Yeah.
No, it's great. It's great. Honestly,
Okay.
she is my number one fan, and I'm her number one fan. There's no animosity between us. Now maybe, when UT and A&M play against each other, we'll talk a little trash, but other than that, it's all love.
Okay. Okay. And you went to because you transferred already in high school from
Yeah.
Samuel Clemens
Mm-hmm.
High School, because it had an international, I'm gonna botch this,
Back.
baccalaureate.
Yeah, yeah, the IB program.
That's how you
Yeah.
pronounce it?
Hmm.
Baccalaureate?
Yeah.
Really? So
Yeah.
what is that program and what
Yeah.
makes it so demanding? Because I'm guessing it's still in
Yeah.
place, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's in place everywhere. It's a very rigorous program, and it's kind of like AP, like advanced placement
Okay.
classes, only in my opinion at another level. It's not just about getting the right answers, but it's about how you get to the right answers. So it kind of dives a bit deeper into the process to find solutions. And that's not just with the written portion of it, but it's also when it comes to like foreign languages, like we had to take a Spanish class, the math, obviously like the writing part, and other classes that we had to take. It was just a very heavy load for a high schooler, I would
Mm-hmm.
say, but it was absolutely worth it because I was so prepared going to Duke. I would argue that the IB program was more rigorous than when I got to Duke. So I was very prepared to go to college um and succeed.
Yeah, that's a strong statement, right? And like a strong endorsement of the program as well. Okay.
Absolutely.
And you said that you wanted to be an engineer, so I'm guessing you like logic and problem solving, right? Those are your things.
I do like those things, but unfortunately I did not become an
Yeah,
engineer.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um
But still, do
yeah.
you utilize that sort of ability when you're playing basketball as well as
Yeah, I
a
would say so.
puzzle of sorts?
I would say so. I would say so. I would say so more so in the planning process or in the
Okay.
preparation. I think that when it comes to the game, you fall to your level of preparation. So if your level of preparation is at the level of the games, then there is no fall. Um, but yeah, I would say I use the logic and the problem solving daily.
Okay, okay. And just to close out that part of your life, 2015, McDonald's All-American basketball game as a top 10 recruit in the country. This is like the culmination of your high school career, right? What do you
Hmm.
remember from that trip? Because you played in Chicago. Was it your first time
Yeah.
there?
It wasn't my first time in Chicago,
Okay.
but I mean that was such a great experience. That was an achievement that I was like specifically like prayed for. I was like, Lord, like I want to be a McDonald's All-American. And at this point, it was one of the things where you had to watch TV to see the list. Like you couldn't just like it wasn't leaked on,
Yeah.
X or Twitter or Instagram. Like it was something you literally had to like watch and see if your name came up. So I remember sitting on the couch with my parents and like just waiting, waiting, waiting. And then it came up and I like scanned the list really fast and I see my name on the west side. So I was just like, oh my goodness, like Lord, thank you. Um, but I mean, it was fast. I feel like it went by really, really fast. But it was just great to be in a setting or in an environment with all like with the best players in the nation. Like just like I said earlier, I'm like I belong here. So everybody, did what they had to do to get here. And, I'm one of the I think it was
Yeah.
24 names to be selected across the entire country. Like, wow. So yeah, no, God is good and it was a great experience. I still have the gear and everything, so it's
Yeah. I
something I
mean,
will forever be proud of.
why shouldn't you, right? And,
Yeah.
and, and how does playing in a game like that look like? Because you guys got pretty close. I think it was decided by 2 points, right? You had six dimes, from what I remember.
I don't even
Uh,
remember the game, honestly.
I just
Like
remember the numbers.
it
I
was
think, I
so
hope.
fast.
But
It was so fast.
because when you watch the pros play an all-star game, it's like an exhibition game, right? But here
Hmm.
it really matters, right? So how do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
put your ego aside for the team, even though you're there because of your ego, right? You're there because you're a
Yeah.
top dog. So how do you
Right, right.
adapt? How did you handle that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was just staying present and enjoying the moment. I knew that, whatever was gonna happen happened as far as like play. Like we all had most of the girls there had already committed to their colleges and some, still were holding out to commit and things. But I was really just staying present and enjoying the moment because it was something that, you worked so hard for.
Okay. 11 years on, you're a 5-year pro, and you're currently playing in your ninth country, France. How did you end up at Montpellier?
Wow, this year has been a lot. So I
Because
started in
it
Israel.
started somewhere else. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I started in a different country. And after the national team break towards the end of like the calendar year, so the end of December, I ended up going home. And thank God I did. Thank God I did. And then like probably like 12 days later, I think I was home for 12 days. And in those 12 days, somebody from the team here in France had gotten injured and they needed a player fast because they were still in the French Cup, they were still in Euro Cup, and then of course the French League. So they needed a player fast. My agent was like, hey, a player got injured, they need you for 5 weeks, and then we'll see what happens. And I was like, cool, let's do it. Literally left 24 hours later again. I threw everything in the suitcase and I forgot a lot of stuff. Once I got here, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot this, I forgot this. But I had my basketball shoes. So I get here, I'm playing with the team, and then after the 5 weeks, and the player was healthy again, they decided to extend my contract for the rest of the season, and I'm still here.
Yeah. And this being your ninth country, do you consider it a blessing or the side effect of your love for basketball that you need to basically that you can't grow roots in a place.
Mm, yeah.
So,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, no, this game is funny. It's really funny. I absolutely consider it a blessing to be able to say that I've played in 9 countries. Like, what? The cultures, the people, the widened perspective on life in general is a huge blessing. Um, there are moments when I really do wish that I could put down roots and, not live out of a suitcase for, 7 to 9 months out of the year. Um, But I mean, that's the job I signed up for. This is the life I signed up for, and it's a blessing to be able to choose. Like I tell my teammates, I tell people like I have the best job in the world, and I don't even consider it a job. Like I am blessed to be able to play a game that I love as my main source of income. And this is just, I mean, it's a testament to God's goodness and to his faithfulness and choice is something that I don't take for granted. So I don't regret that at all. I absolutely love it, and I would choose it again and again.
Okay. I had some other questions prepared, but that was so nice that I think that we should end on this profound note, I guess. So thank you, Kyra, and good luck in throughout the rest of your season and whatever life throws your way. I hope that you will take it head on. So thank you for finding the time
Thank you
to
so
talk.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.